Hello everyone, it's Wildman Rouse back again with 10-Minute Expert to tell you all about global shutters and what they could mean for your photography. Keep listening. Now, I feel very revved up in my squeaky chair. I've been listening to the Sex Pistols for some reason for the past half an hour. I've got my new Madagascar Lima hat on and my band trophy hunting shirt, which is a movement that we should all support. Today I'm going to talk to you about global shutters and what they mean for you. But first, I need to explain what an electronic shutter is so that you can see the difference and know all the advantages and some of the disadvantages too. Now, the way an electronic shutter works, it's like a scanner. I've got no flashy diagrams, you've just got sound effects. So it scans one line of the picture that it sees. Imagine this picture here. Scans one line at a time, writes the data. Scans one line, writes the data. That is why we can have 50, 60 megapixel cameras, because the camera is not receiving the whole image data at once. It's receiving line by line. Now, that means that between starting scanning the picture and finishing scanning the picture, there's a time delay. And the time delay with an electronic shutter can manifest itself in a couple of ways. One of which is distortion at high shutter speeds of things like maybe rotor blades and stuff like that. You may have noticed a slight bending if you've taken pictures at high shutter speeds, and also high moving action. So those of us that shoot 5,000, 10,000th of a second, which I do regularly for my flying birds, sometimes at 100%, the picture is not as sharp as it should be. And of course, you could look at it and say, well, it's you. Sometimes it is. Sometimes it's this delay in the shutter. The other problem with these shutters is flash. Now, I am not a lover of flash at night. I don't think you should be using it on animals at night because it's disrespectful. But in the day, flash is fantastic for filling in shadows and stuff. The issue is that to use the flash, you have to use a low sync speed between 60th. Some cameras allow you 1/25th, okay? But that's all that you can use the flash with to sync it with the shutters. Otherwise, you get some strange effects. That means that you can't, it's very hard to balance daylight exposures. If you're getting 2,000th of a second and you can only sync at 60th, you have to bring your shutter speed down to a 60th, which is not what you want. Okay, so the camera's telling you what to do and the camera is limiting what you can do. Well, how does a global shutter differ from that? Well, a global shutter takes the whole image. So imagine this image you're looking at in horror of me. It will take the whole picture. Okay, and it will ship it off to the sensor as one, not just literally boom, send. That's why we can't have at the moment 50 to 60 megapixel global shutter cameras. The current one we've got, the Sony A9III, is only 25 megapixels. Okay, that will change, but right now that's the limitation because there's an awful lot of data to ship. The positive thing of global shutters is that you get sharp images at high action. There is no delay. The picture is taken as one and sent. That means you can get not only fantastically fast shutter speeds, but you don't get any of this distortion that high action photography can give. Now, that's a big thing. Now, you may not have noticed that, and that's fine, but it's certainly there. And for those of you out there in sports and high action wildlife that do a lot of this stuff, a global shutter is certainly the way forward for you. Now, for me, I think the biggest advantage is the creative use of flash, because, listen to this, there's no longer a flash sync speed. Okay, you can sync at whatever speed you want, so you're not limited. It means you can go 1,000th or 1/3. It doesn't matter. Now, I saw some really great pictures in the Olympics, and I don't know who they were from. Apologies if that's you, let me know and I will name check you. The professional swimming pictures, awesome anyway. Shot at about 1,000th of a second, so you got all the action with the daylight fill-in flash to pick up everything, but with a balanced background. That's the thing. You can balance the background exposure now. You can shoot at 1/3 of a second. I mean, I shot chameleons in the past that were slow. Chameleon, you got to shoot slow because it's like, oh, come on, mate, move. It's like, you got to shoot it slow sync. You got to shoot it really slow to introduce some action, some motion into the picture. Well, now you can do creative flash at a really slow shutter speed, which is really fantastic. For me, they are the two big advantages of the global shutter. There'll be plenty of people on here, far more tech than me, that will explain it in greater detail. But basically, those are the two things. Now, the only one out at the moment is the Sony A9III, but you can bet there are many others going to come. Okay, I haven't managed to beg, steal, or borrow yet. I've tried to do everything I can. There are very few around, but as soon as I get one, I will try it and I will let you know what I think. Now, this camera as well, the A9III, comes with some extra things that sound really interesting. Like the burst speed is fantastic. It comes with pre-capture, which is a version of the OM Pro Capture that Canon and Nikon have got as well. So I'm quite excited to try that and to see what the global shutter does for me, because you, as the normal average photographer out there, will be saying, Andy, is it worth me jumping on this bandwagon? Because there is a bandwagon. It's, oh, you've got to have a global shutter. You don't, okay? If you're happy with what you're doing now, carry on doing what you're doing now. If you are specialist high-action wildlife photographer, high-action sports photographer, I guess all sports photographers are probably high-action by default, then a global shutter might be a very useful tool for you. Very early days for global shutters. We've got to try them out. We've got to see how good they are. We've got to have more pros trying them out. And as soon as I get one, I will let you know what I think, okay? And I will tell you the honest truth on 10 Minute Expert. Now, before I go, I've got my yearly calendar out. Yes, my 2025 calendar. And it's in aid of the Wild Otter Trust, the UK Wild Otter Trust, which is the only conservation body in the UK exclusively dealing with our otter population, which is fantastic. Look, lots of nice pictures. There's, it hasn't got an otter in it, but hey, little owls, wolf on the back, big grids, okay, beautiful calendar, A3, as you can see, link here. Please support me and buy it. I would really appreciate it. The more I sell, the more donation I can give. And that's about it. So I hope that you've enjoyed 10 Minute Expert. It's actually been quite short today. Subscribe if you want to, so you get told about these things automatically. Have a look at other videos on the channel. There's lots of other videos on this channel. And if you like, I will continue broadcasting. One apology. For the last few weeks, I haven't been seeing the comments. I've only been seeing one comment that I reply to, and then I don't see it ever again. So if you reply to me, I've not seen it, so don't think I'm rude. I just didn't see it because I had the app set up wrong. My wife has re-educated me, and now I've set the app up correctly, and I've been responding to your responses. Sounds weird, that. So apologies if I haven't, but I promise I will get to your comments, providing they're nice. I don't respond to anything that's not nice. I will get to your comments and answer your questions as much as I can. But just remember, this global shutter stuff is as new to me as it is to you. The proof will be in the pudding, so to speak. All right, that's it for 10 Minute Expert. See you again. Bye-bye. Better go back to the Sex Pistols.